Hi, g'day. Yeah, I think we are ready for the stretching video. Before I start that, I'd just like to let you know that the reason for doing this is to get all your joints working properly. Okay, so to get your joints working properly, you got to lubricate your body properly, and that's mainly the joints. Okay, because what happens is if you don't look after your joints, then obviously it's very hard for the blood to flow through them. I'm not a scientist or a doctor to explain that properly to you, but through experience and working with lots of yoga teachers and going to health retreats and so on, I think it's very clear to me that that is a very important thing in your life. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we're going to concentrate on today. It's not really, it's a mix of yoga and also stretching exercise. They're all yoga anyway. Uh, but the yoga, the one that I do from my Japanese teacher, I will do that tomorrow. The one that she gave me to do, I'll need a mat for that, and I'll record that for you tomorrow. But this is very similar to those moves, except you're doing this standing position. So it may not suit people who can't stand up for a long period of time. I'm talking about elderly or the people that have got, you know, joint issues. Okay, so let's start with that. What we need to do first is we've got to look at our body and our skeleton, which is from head to toe. You know that our joints are at our neck, then it's on our shoulders, right? The joints, and also you got your hips, that's a joint, and then you got your knees, and then your ankles, and pretty much, yeah, elbow. I hope I've covered that, and your wrist. Okay, so those joints have to be lubricated properly. So this what this is going to do. There are very healthy people who are, you know, internally very healthy, and also mind is very healthy, like yogis and the rishis in India, who can actually go into meditation and sit in a position for days on end, and their hair's grown so long, nails have grown into the ground. And I have seen people like that. Honestly, they do exist, but you know, they can't really move and walk around because they've been sitting in a position where they're frozen. Okay, so they need to be carried around and they have to be moved. So we don't want to be in that place. So we have to make sure that you know, we keep our joints lubricated and working properly. Okay, so you don't get stranded. So okay, now to, as I mentioned before, the joints we have covered. So how do we make those joints lubricated and working properly without any clogging and ending up with clots or something like that? Okay, so first your neck you have to do. I'll just do a few because I've done this exercise already. But yeah, you can do it as many times as you want to. But remember, a minimum time you got to spend with that is at least 20 per exercise, 20 movements per exercise, per movement, 20 times, right? And then also you got to do them all because, and as many as possible. You can even add to that as long as you are lubricating your joints. Okay, that's the idea of the whole thing. So for the head, I'll show you some simple ones. Is that you go up, look up at the sky, and then come down to the ground. That's one. Same. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's one. And then the other one's going to left to right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay, the other one could be rotating from left to right, clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rotate your neck properly though, that is to look up farther as possible, and then looking down under your feet, so to speak. So it's got to be a full rotation, okay? Similarly, go the other way. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, so that's your neck, okay? And make sure that when you're standing, your knees are not really locked and your body is quite relaxed, because with yoga, it's very, very important that you maintain your good breathing, the same as normal, okay? So never make your breathing difficult at any circumstances, okay? It's got to be like fluid, like Bruce Lee said, when martial artists do, always be relaxed as much as possible, okay? Knees not locked, nothing is locked, just very, very relaxed, okay? You've got to always remember that. Otherwise, it's pointless, because you're still going to hurt your joints anyway. All right, so the next one is obviously your shoulder. So you can start by just rotating your shoulder arm clockwise or anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, I've done this so many times trying to do this video. You have to make sure that you do them enough times as possible for your fitness level, okay? Because a lot of people think that all these are really easy to do until you start doing them. You haven't been moving them, it might start to really hurt you, and you get creaks and noises. It's because people like Tai Chi, right? Everybody thinks that Tai Chi is so easy because all the people are doing it, moving slowly and everything. But trust me, if you haven't done Tai Chi before, if you start to do it the first time, it's going to be very, very hard for you. In fact, a few times it's going to be hard for you. Your body will be sore as anything. Believe me, I've done Tai Chi and I don't do it much these days. But Tai Chi is, again, very, very painful. You haven't been used to it. Okay, so but start slowly, but build it up to a level that it just becomes part of nature. Okay, part of your being. So the other one, obviously, the left hand, the same thing. You go 1, 2, 3. Trying to miss these branches. 4, 5, 6, and the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly, of course. And then for the elbows, you go one that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the elbows, there are many things you can do. So also, you can add to that, you can do this, hold the elbows down, put your shoulder up when you're putting the shoulder up, also hold your elbow down, putting your shoulder up. So it's working both the shoulder and the elbows. Okay, that's a very, very good thing to do. Do as many as possible, right? Okay, so it's just like, hey, just work with your body, okay? But any possible way you can stretch these joints is very, very important. Same thing with your wrist. Go that way, 5, that way, 5. Okay, and then they rotate them that way, clockwise, and then anti-clockwise. Okay. And the other thing you can do is that one. 6, 7, 8, 10. As many times as you want to. And the other time. This 1, 2, 3, 4. Then backwards, get a stretch in your wrist. And you can do it that way as well. Don't be fearful, as long as you don't break them. You can do them, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same way, 1, 2, 3. It'll hurt, but do them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that's your hand, okay? And I think there are other ones you can actually, remember, you can hold. Where am I going? Yeah, here. Hope you can see me still. And you just pull your shoulder back that way, facing that way, and the same the other way, right? Pull your shoulder back. Okay, at least it's fun. You can see me in the bushes in the jungle, but yeah, you get the drift. Okay, you gotta follow these things. And so we have done up to arms and necks. Okay, the next thing obviously is your hip. For the hip, all you have to do is have your legs slightly apart from each other, your feet, and relax, stand and have your hands on your hip, and all you have to do is do the thrusting movement but rotate your hip properly around, like in clockwise and anti-clockwise. I do the minimum 20, but I think 40, 60, once you feel right, then you can do it regularly to maintain it. Okay, so go 1, go right back, 2, 3, 4, thrust forward, push your bum as far as possible. 3, 4, 5. And same way, the other way. 1, clockwise, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's your hip. And also for hip, you can just have yourself standing with the knee forward a bit, and then you have your arms loose, drop yourself down to the ground, right, and almost touching the ground. Then you push your knees back, and that'll give you a really good stretch over here and right up to your bum and your hip. Okay, so just relax that like that, and then push your bum up high. Okay, and of course there are many other ones that you can do, like yoga poses. You go right back and then come forward and drop down to the ground. The correct way of doing that, to be honest, I'll have to do this properly again. Okay, you start from the ground and you come up, but you're always watching your finger points. So, and then you follow with your eyes the fingers going up and uncoil yourself. Okay, so you're looking at the fingers and you're going up slowly. This is the correct way of doing it, but people might find that really hard to begin with, but you can slowly get that right. But keep looking at it, go right up, still following the hands, slower than that, right up to the top, and you go right back, looking right up at the sky. Come back into a dance, blessing, hands together, and then go down again. So yeah, you can repeat that a few times, and that would be very good too. Okay, so that's all for your back. Once you've done that, then of course you're coming to your knee. That works the same way. The knee, first you start a little bit more for your hip. You can go forward, back, 20 times. Okay, all right, and then the left one, side forward, back, forward, back, 20 times. Then the same thing, the knees, fall back, forward, fall back, forward, fall back, forward, fall back, forward. And the same thing for the left, fall back, forward. 2, 3. Alright, 20 times. Okay, then you go. Another one that you can do for your knees is very, very good, because you bend down, stay very grounded, but at the same time very relaxed. 2 feet on the ground, knee a little bit forward, then touch your knees with the hands, just sit on it, touch it like that, and then move your knees clockwise. I have to get this clock and anti-clockwise, right? There is anti-clockwise. Go that way, 20, and then the other way, 20. Okay. So yeah, so that's for your knees. Of course, there are other ones that you can do with your knees. As you know, one is that you just stand up straight with the shoulder back, bring your feet to your bottom, and then hold in that position for 20. Same time, you can stretch your toes also by actually holding it by the toes and pulling it back, so you'll feel that your toes are stretching as well. All the joints there as well, because there are little joints also connected. Don't forget your fingers, your toes, all that's connected to there. Fingers to your hand, toes to your feet. Okay, so you can stretch them at the same time. So that's great. Like that, and then you can go back if you want to for 20 that way, in that position, and that feels really good. And put it down and do the same thing with your right. Okay, now back to the bushes. As you know, the other one you can do is standing here, and then you with the right leg forward and left back, and then pretty much pushing your left foot into the ground by stretching that part of your leg completely. Okay, so that's a good one. And then also the other side. All these have to be done to a minimum of 20 count, but I'm just doing them fast so that the videos get a little bit more interesting and watchable. Okay, so that's the other two that you can do. And I don't know whether I even showed you the arm thing properly before. I think it was that one, right? So, and also you can do that stretch. You know, to your shoulder stretches. That one, and that one. Okay, that's beautiful. Give your whole body a good shake. Now what we got last is obviously your feet, and that is again simple. You move your leg forward on one leg, right leg lifted up. You work your feet up and down, push it down as further as possible. You might get a cramp sometimes, doesn't matter. And then go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and count to 20. That's right. And then the same way, you do your left foot, up, down, as high as possible upwards, as low as possible downwards. So that way 20, and that's your feet. And also don't forget the rotations, the right, that way 20, and that way 20, and then the other one that way 20, and that way 20. Alright, and give your feet a good shake as well. Okay guys, I've actually done 2 videos on this one, on my standing up exercises. I just wanted it to be just a bit more fun and friendly, like I'm just having a chat with my mates. Nothing professional about this. You might find some of the things that I haven't even done them very well. But look, end of the day, giving it a go and getting into some sort of shape and fitness. Okay, that's what matters. I'll post them both. Enjoy yourself, and I'll catch you next time around. Bye.